So, welcome back everyone to Cooking with Owen. Today, as the thumbnail and title entails, rhubarb and chocolate brownies. First thing you gotta do, as per every start putting a knife towards people. That's wrong. It's to wash our hands. Wash them good, and get all the dirt and germs off. Good chefs have clean hands. But after that, you just chop up the rhubarb and then put it into a can I say Pyrex dish? Because it's Pyrex or just an oven-proof dish, basically. Most recipes say to just chop the rhubarb and put them in the same time, put in like chocolate chunks. Don't do this, because then you get just chunks of rhubarb that aren't that nice. What you gotta do is stew them, then add them in, and then you get this kind of astringent undertone of rhubarb. Okay, now you've chopped up your rhubarb in a nice oven-proof dish. What you want to do next is add a bit of water so your rhubarb doesn't burn, and then you just grate a bit of nutmeg. Yeah. Just drop the nutmeg in, that'll just do the trick right there. And a bit of cinnamon, a bit of ground almonds. Too much, but just a slight bit of sugar. And then mix it all in with a teaspoon. And then you just put that in the oven for 45 to 60 minutes. You can start on the next step, which is to melt butter and chocolate in a pan of equal amounts, about 100 grams each. Okay, so next you want to mix in the dry ingredients together. That's the flour, sugar and cocoa powder. There's just plenty of cocoa powder really. You can't really have too much with this recipe. Well, you can, and too much chocolate, it's bad for you, but I don't give a shit. Now, I normally also at this stage add a bit more cinnamon, because cinnamon's lovely, and anyone who disagrees is wrong. And you want to add what seems like an ungodly amount of sugar, just too much sugar really. If it seems like an unhealthy amount of sugar, pour a bit more sugar in. That's how much sugar you want in there. The same, the amount of cocoa powder and flour you put in, about that amount of almost double that amount of sugar. And then you just have the dry and stuff mix. Wait for the thing to melt. Mix them together, and then you have a nice glossy mix, which you just need to add eggs to, about 3 or 4, and then you're fucking golden. You want to add the eggs gradually though, so you can see the consistency and go, we do only 3 or 4 eggs. Think smartly, not fartly. Okay, if you're following along at home, if you've added these melted brown chocolate and buttermilk and the eggs, you should get a consistency of this nice glossy mixture. It looks lovely. And unfortunately, trying to tilt it, it would fall out of the bowl basically, and I'd end up ruining the recipe. But it's nice glossy consistency like that. It's lovely. Now you want to add the rhubarb mix next, which is still cooking. So I'll be back later. Rhubarb is done. We have a nice glossy mix. So we just need to add the rhubarb, add some lovely chocolate chunks in, which I've cut myself. You shouldn't buy chocolate chips, not with any ethical reason, just because they're just very expensive. You can just buy regular chocolate and chop it up into chocolate chunks. You just turn them into little chunks. I could do that myself. I'm not paying another 90p for you to do it for me. I don't know what's annoys me so much. Yeah, I could have done it for a bit longer and maybe done a bit more rhubarb, but got rhubarb to a nice kind of mushy consistency, which it's not a great description, but it makes sense because it's just kind of going, you want it to be kind of in that kind of consistency, so you can distribute it evenly throughout the batter. And then we add the chocolate chunks in, like so. Really, you scrape them in, not touch them with your hand, because that would be more hygienic. But it's just me and my family eating this, so, and we're in the same house anyway, so we're kind of distributing we're breathing in and out of well, not the same air, but just we're in the same vicinity quite often. So if one of us has got something, then the rest of us are about to have as well. It's going so, and you pour it into a baking tray which is already greased and lined. Well, once you've done pouring it in, and getting it all over yourself, you put it in for a nice 18 minutes, and out pop lovely chocolate and rhubarb brownies. Let them cool first, don't burn your tongue, that's just not a nice experience. So, and I'll cut and then there'll be brownies. Visual joke. If you can see, the brownies are a nice crumbly texture. On the top, they're all nicely cooked all the way through, because what you do is you take a cocktail stick or knife, preferably a cocktail stick, put it through the thing, and if it comes out like I'm clear, you cook, I'm sure you know. So we're going to try and see how good. It's still quite hot, because I'm not vertical. Oh, you can taste the rhubarb, definitely. I think it's not as nice as previous ones I've made. I think it's just... the rhubarb could have been done longer, definitely. I think there's that richness there, which I do like, and I'm quite glad about that. Going, I felt like we could have added a bit more cocoa powder as well, a bit more rhubarb, because things can always and should always be fruitier. Words to live by UCB. Like quite well. I'm like, it's full. I want another one. No, these are really good. I'm well chuffed with that. It's just there. Very nice. Great job, and that was really fun. Nice video. I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye, you lovely people. If you want to follow the recipe, I've told you all in the instructions, so not very well, but good luck to you. Goodbye.